All right, everybody, what's going on, man? It's your boy Charles Wells, aka the host of SWACtalk, coming at you. Just gonna pop in real quick and drop a little bit of info on the Southern University coaching search. Gonna be another quick hitter. Gonna pop in, pop out. Before I get started, I just like to thank everybody for the support. The last two videos I've done have really done great numbers, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Subscriber count then jumped from like 23 over the last weekend to almost 60 now. So I'd like to thank y'all for hopping on, man, and I'm gonna do my best to take y'all on a tour around the SWAC every time I come on here, man. So I appreciate it. There's a lot of people out here that's doing the HBCU thing, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm just really glad and fortunate that y'all are taking the time out to watch my videos, and hopefully you get a little bit out of it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get all the intro stuff out the way. Um, the socials, obviously the links are in the description. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're all in our email, all in the description. My podcast, which will not be heard this week due to there not being any games. Swag anchor.fm/swag talk. It also can be heard on Stitcher, Breaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. You can search Swag Talk, SWACtalk, all one word. This YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe to it if you haven't done so already. Like the videos and make sure you share them, please. I appreciate that. And also hit the notification bell to be alerted to any content that I upload, so you know what's going on when it goes on when I drop things. So this is not even a secret anymore, but the big news is, at least at this point in the Southern University coaching search, is head coach Cornell Maynor of Alabama A&M is actually in Baton Rouge interviewing for the Southern University job, and that's a big thing because A, he's a head coach in the conference, and B, his team is in the SWAC championship. They're playing on next Saturday. They won the East Division, but that's a big thing for him to interview for this position. That shows that Southern is a big job that is going to garner a lot of attention. I think the last time I heard, they had over 40 applicants, and they're interviewing five or six people. That's the only name that I know for sure that had interviewed, and the information was brought out by HBCU Game Day. So I just want to give them the proper credit for that. But in case you don't know who Connell Maynor is, number one, he was a quarterback in college. He played at North Carolina A&T, and he is actually one of the top MEAC players of all time, pretty much. He did a lot of good things at A&T from '89 to '91. He played with the Tampa Bay Storm in the Arena League, the New York City Hawks, Orlando Predators, New Jersey Gladiators, Carolina Cobras, and the Philadelphia Soul. So he did about 10 years in the Arena League as a quarterback. He began his coaching career at 2000 from 2000 to 2008 at Fayetteville State. He was a quarterback coach there. Then he coached in the Arena League for 1 year, the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Soul, excuse me. 2009, he was the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at Fayetteville State again. 2010, he got his first head coaching job at Winston-Salem, and he coached there up until 2013. In 2010, he went 8-2 at Winston-Salem, 5-2 in conference. 2011, he went 13-1, 7-0 in conference. He won the conference and lost in the playoffs in the semifinals. In 2012, he went 14-1, 7-1 and 7-0 in conference. Finished first, obviously, made the playoffs and lost in the Division II championships. And then in 2013, he went 10-2, again 7-0 in conference, and he had a second round berth in the NCAA Division II playoffs. So all told, at Winston Salem, he was 45-6 and 26-2 in conference. He did he really did work in the CIAA. That led to him getting a job at Hampton in the MEAC. He coached at Hampton from 2014 to 2017. got a rough start at Hampton. Started off 3-9, 2-6 in conference. 2015 he went 6-5, 5-3 in conference. 2016 5-6, 5-3 in conference, and then another 6-5 record with a 5-3 record. So you can see at Hampton he kind of hovered around that 500 mark, giving him a record of 20-25 at Hampton, 17-15 in conference, and that led to him moving on to the SWAC to coach at Alabama A&M in 2018. He went 6-5, which was Alabama A&M's first 6-win season or more since 2011 when they made the SWAC championship. He went 6-5, 5-2 in conference. Then 2019 he took another step and went 7-5 and 4-3. And this year he has the team playing for the SWAC championship next week. So at A&M by 2019, he was 13-10 and 9-5 in conference, giving him a 78-41 record as a coach. And he's if you watch A&M play the last couple of years, he's a really offensive minded coach, and he brings a lot of swagger and personality to what he does as a coach. I'm sure you guys have heard the little talking back and forth he had with Coach Deion Sanders after their game earlier this month. So that's a big name to drop in an interview at this point, and especially when technically his season is still going on. So that's a big thing for that name to be dropped out of there, and for him to actually be in town and interviewing. So that's a name that you're gonna have to keep an eye out on. I know a lot of people gonna run rampant with that, and it could also be a possibility of as a coach sometimes you try to play one girl against another. You know how sometimes we do players. So Southern is one girl, A&M is his main girl. She ain't really acting right, and he wants to act like he's getting attention from Southern to get her jealous and getting more attention from her. And that's the way that's kind of it could be one of those kind of situations. Coaches use one job to get a raise at their own job. That could be a possibility. It could be he did interview, so there is some legitimate interest there. And from what I heard, I think he did a good job at the interview. And that's a name that we're really gonna have to keep an eye out on. One more name I want to drop before I pop out of here, and this is a name that I've heard floating around the last couple of days, and that's Mickey Joseph. He's the wide receiver coach at LSU right now, and assistant head coach also. So he is a product of New Orleans, Louisiana. He went to Archbishop Shaw High School, and he played at Nebraska as a quarterback from 1988 to 1991. He got started in his coaching career in 1995 at Omaha North in Nebraska. He was the quarterback coach and receiver coach. In '97, he took a job at Wayne State as a graduate assistant. 1998, he went back to his alma mater, Archbishop Shaw, and he coached quarterbacks. He was a graduate assistant at Tulane in 1999. 2000, in 2000, he was a receiver coach at Alabama State. 2001 to 2003, he was the quarterback coach at Nicholls State. 2004 to 2005, he was the running back coach at Central Oklahoma. From 2005 to 2008, he was the head coach at Desire Street Academy, which led to him getting a job as associate head coach at Langston in 2008 to 2011. And then from 2011 to 2012, he was the head coach at Langston. 2013, he coached receivers and special teams at Alcorn. 2014 to 2015, he was the receiver and special teams coach at Grambling. 2016, he moved on to Louisiana Tech as a running back coach, and then 2017, he took over as receiver coach at LSU, and he's still there to the present. So as you can see, he does have a long resume of coaching, a lot of different levels: high school, FBS, Power Five, Group of Five, Power Five, FCS, Division II. He's been around, so he definitely is a guy who has a high coaching, nice little coaching resume, and he's obviously you get if you look at a guy like that, you're gonna get a guy is who has obviously has Louisiana ties, New Orleans ties is something that I always like to point out is a good thing because recruiting in the state of Louisiana is a big endeavor, and you have to make headway in New Orleans to be able to really make a shake. And that's a name that I've seen floating around in various areas. So that's another name to keep an eye on. I'm not quite sure if he interviewed at the moment, but I think he has, but they haven't really released any information on that yet. I do have some sources that talk about a couple of things, but I'm not quite ready at this point to really put anything out there because I don't, I like to respect the decision that the school is making and not burn my sources. But that's really what I wanted to do because, like I said, that Connell Maynor news really came from out of nowhere. I did hear some rumblings before of his name being interested, but I just kind of took that as people just talking. But I once I saw that article on HBCU Game Day, I did ask around and found out that he did in fact interview. So that's a developing situation. I had last heard that they was gonna try to make a decision by this weekend or maybe Monday. So I don't know if they're gonna if Maynard is the guy, are they gonna wait and do it? Are they gonna kind of agree in principle but not say anything yet? Are they not even gonna go that route because it's honestly not really that great of a look to interview for a job while you about to coach for your first championship in a long time. So that's something that you really kind of got to be careful with. You don't know if he gonna always hop to another job. He don't really spend a lot of time in any one place, and that can be concerning. But maybe if Southern was the place that he landed, he would stay there a little bit longer. Who knows? But there's a lot of names that have been floating around. I'm not quite ready to put any of those out there yet. But stay tuned and continue to tune in to Swag Talk. Hit that notification bell, man, because with this coaching search, I'm gonna be dropping videos as I get news. So that could be daily, that could be every other day, it could be, every 3 days. But there will be something because Southern is a big job and in the SWAC, and I think this coaching search should be talked about as much as possible. So keep on watching Swag Talk, man. I appreciate the love and the support, and I'm gonna continue to bring y'all the news as I get it. Um, I like to shout out anybody that's doing this HBCU sports thing because this lane is wide open, and there's a few people who I like to watch that are doing that are doing their thing. I'm gonna shout them out. They don't know me, I don't know them, but off script TV, you can check him out, man. He do interviews with players, he do live call-ins. He covers a lot of stuff. He does a great job. Cut Day Sports is honestly one of the guys who started doing this that I watched when I first really started seeing people talk about HBCU stuff the last few months. He does a lot of good stuff, man. He's really in depth. Him and Off Script, they both do a lot of film stuff, and they're very thorough. There's another channel they're starting to cover HBCU sports, but right now they're kind of focused on Jackson State, but they plan to branch out later, and that's called the Blue Bloods. They do a show called a 2 minute drill, and they talk about swag stuff, and they're planning on expanding their coverage of swag play in the fall. So those are like three channels that I like to watch as a fan. So I figured, if you guys don't know those, y'all should definitely check them out because this lane is open enough for everybody to do their thing, and I like to appreciate what they do, and we can all do what we do. Another channel I do like to shout out is Alex Hines. Man, he got games like out the Yahoo going back to the '80s and or at least to the '90s, and yeah, swag games, MEAC, CIAA, SIAC. I seen a I seen a NAIA game on there before. Basketball, football, he covers it all. So those are just some channels that I like to watch. If y'all don't know about them, then y'all check them out and get them a subscription if you haven't subscribed to them already. So let's keep this HBCU thing going, man. Let's keep the swag thing going, and let's get this popping, man. Because everybody deserves to know what we have. It shouldn't just be because of a big name guy that brings people here. We need to all do our part to keep everybody here and let everybody know that the SWAC is here and the SWAC has a lot to offer. So with that being said, I'm about to dip up out of here. I'm gonna holler at y'all when I get another opportunity to hop on. You know, anytime this news pops in, I'm gonna hop in and give it to y'all pretty straight with no chaser. And I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Y'all have a good weekend.